Good morning, friends. I've titled this video Geothermal Electricity. And if you tuned in just to learn about geothermal electricity, it's only going to be about 2% of this broadcast. I'm wearing my 2 pieces of safety clothing for hunting, except I'm not a hunter. I'm a fisherman. That's hunting. Let me just get a few things going here. All right. Boy, this jacket is it's too bright. Let me take it off. Let me take it off. So I just made my coffee and it was steaming. And when I see steam, it reminds me of the secret to unlimited electricity. Geo Thermal. Wayne, you could wear that jacket to a rave. I could. Hey, Charles, you know what I'm going to do right now? Test. I'm going to make you a moderator. Add as moderator. There you go, Charles. All right. Yeah. Now you got a wrench. Well, it's funny that I forget this because being a physicist and electrical engineer, I am fascinated with anti-gravity and unlimited electricity, something called zero-point energy. And there's a way to make unlimited electricity, and it was invented very, very long ago, geothermal. Just last night, I was reading an article about Mount Etna, I think, in Italy. It's erupting, 1,000 foot of lava shooting out of the top. And Iceland is having earthquakes, and they're expecting Iceland to erupt. So something is happening down there in the belly of Mother Earth. It's having some belches, and I'll explain that in a little bit. There's this hot liquid down there, magma, and we can drill close to it, pour water down the hole, and we'll get steam. And we can turn that into electricity. We have the ability to make unlimited electricity because of this perpetual heat source called Earth. We should not be building hydroelectric dams, wind power, solar. What we should be doing is drilling holes, filling them with water, making steam, and powering anything we want with electricity. This is super off-the-shelf conventional technology. And what is a byproduct? Can you guess what a byproduct is of this? Clean drinking water. We can use ocean water, and the steam would be desalinization. The steam could be collected, and it would be considered distilled water because it's steam and all the impurities are left behind. And then we could have as much drinking water as we wanted while we're making electricity from this perpetual heat source called the mantle of the Earth. So we probably should. I'm going to mention that I'm on the kill stream today with Ralph, and I'm going to mention geothermal power, that we could just start making geothermal power anytime we want. Iceland has so much geothermal power that they can't use all the electricity they generate. And so they shut down one of the geothermal electrical plants, and a guy bought it and did Bitcoin mining with the electricity. Uh, no, Charles, I don't think it could cause earthquakes. I can't be certain. Earthquakes happen like probably every 5 minutes. There are endless earthquakes. The Earth is a ball. Material is landing on the Earth from outer space every day. So, like, I'm not sure the exact numbers, but in 100 years, the surface of the Earth will have 1 more inch of dirt from outer space. So the Earth is getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So all that dirt, the heaviest stuff, is working its way towards the center of the Earth. And it's this constant pressure of subduction, the tectonic plates moving around and going under each other, and mountains making themselves. The weight of that dirt is causing the current surface to collapse on top of that molten liquid. So we're always going to have earthquakes. We're always going to have volcanoes. It's just something that we can tap into. I guess I'll talk about piezoelectricity. Piezo is the word squeeze in Greek. And if you squeeze a rock, it will make electricity, high voltage. And if you squeeze it quickly, it makes high voltage quickly. And this is one of the secrets to unlimited electricity. That's a topic for another day. I've got I call it a turkey tray. It's a tray for cooking the turkey in the oven. It's like this long and that wide and that deep. And I got it full of Epsom salts. And then I put my feet in there and soak my feet in Epsom salts pretty frequently. Yeah. It's really healthy for your feet. What happens is your skin absorbs the Epsom salts. And if there's any fungus or bacteria on your skin, well, the fungus and the bacteria absorb the Epsom salts, and that's not good for their health. It dries them out. So when your feet dry, what's left over is the salt, and the fungus doesn't grow in salt. And bugs don't grow in salt. So that's why Epsom salts work. Also, there's magnesium in the Epsom salts. And so then your body absorbs the metal, and the salt and the metal conducts electricity more. And our body is nothing more than an electrochemical biological computer. So the more electricity flows within our body, the faster our body works. It's like increasing the clock speed on your computer. Charles, how is your sobriety going? And that's a very risky thing to say, because you might have drank last night. And I want you to know, even if you did, it's still okay, because you had like 4 or 5 days of sobriety, and nobody can take that away from you. And you can always get back on the wagon. I just want to let you know, like, our friendship isn't dependent on you being sober. I'm just happy for you if you are. I was going to buy a beer, but the grocery store closed at 10, so it saved me last night. All right. Well, luckily my beer delivery idea, beers.wine, isn't working. You have been on the app. Get over here ASAP. I need you. The tap truck. Do you know the owners of the tap room, Charles? Oh. There's something beautiful about the morning. It's the optimism of the day. I don't know the owners. Okay. I'm going there this week with my friend. All right. Well, if you knew, I'm not going to do this anyway, so it doesn't even matter if you knew the owners. But if you knew the owners, I was going to say maybe I should call them and say, a friend of mine who's in your neighborhood and I were talking about a beer delivery service. And imagine your tap truck, imagine your beer in a truck, like a room. So the truck pulls up and there's a stairway and they go inside and there's a bunch of beer taps with the same credit card processing, and then they fill up their beer and they leave. Maybe they don't even go inside because this way there's no liability. They walk. The truck pulls up and the side opens and all the taps are there. Boop. When they're done, the door closes, boo, and it just drives off. Make it with an electric vehicle so there's no gasoline cost, solar panels on the roof. Like, this idea gets better and better. Don't let them steal the idea. That's a totally normal thing to say when it comes to good ideas. And once you've been in business for a while, just because you have a good idea don't mean shit. Implementing the idea is all the work. It is all the work. So clearly you and I are creative guys, right? And they aren't. There's a high probability they are not creative. So to make an idea come to life, you need capital, you need management, marketing, and execution. And for small startups, all those people are usually one person or two people. And it takes tremendous drive to bring a product to life. It's, in software, ideas are stolen because it's just a website with software. And every day, software gets easier and easier to make, and it's easier and easier to copy. Like eBay, I think a long time ago, was trying to copyright online auctions. No, it's not really a defensible space. I think they had a lawsuit for the one click, the buy now button. And shit like that doesn't last. They can't. It's hard for them to protect themselves. We're going to have to go with that. It's not satisfying me. What are you doing? Yeah, we're going to go with that for now. I'm really excited to be on Ralph's show today. I'm talking to this guy who's a Zionist, and I talked to him privately, and he says he doesn't want to debate. And I'm like, okay, good. But secretly, I think he does want to debate. So we'll just see how it goes. I watched one of his videos, and he's very reasonable. I'm going to be on Ralph's show between noon, 1 or 2 o'clock Eastern time. I'm just readjusting my lamp here. Yeah. This is a good looking set. Green here, blue here. I saw he played your song I uploaded. It was cool. Oh, right on. Yeah, he played that last stream. He loved it. Sometimes I impress myself. Oh. I had a dream that I lived in a town. It was a new town, and I was on food stamps, and I was trying to find where the food was. I was on a bicycle, like a 10 speed. We used to call them 10 speeds, but now they're like 20 speeds. A road bike, they call it. And it was very wooded and green. And I came to a baseball field, but the baseball field wasn't flat. Like the outfield had curves like a bowl. And I was driving on the curves like a race car. I came down a hill and I was going just around the curves, bouncing. Because when you ride a bicycle on earth, it's bouncy. It was pretty fun. And then I was going down some road and I came up to this old man and I'm like, do you know? I said, excuse me, sir. I'm new here. I had a booklet in my hand. And I'm like, do you know where the grocery store is? And the guy's like, don't worry, Wayne. It's in town. And I'm like, what? I'm like, how do you know me? He's like, oh my God, you're the guy who gave me the food stamps. He was the guy from the food stamp place. And it's going to be okay, Wayne. Don't panic. I'm like, okay, great. Because I was panicking. When I was a young teenager, my friend and I rode our bikes on the golf course, and the boomers were shouting at us. Of course they were. Of course they were. Okay, tomorrow is danger day, sadly. I think something super bad is going to happen tomorrow in San Francisco. And I'm just making the prediction. Maybe by trying to make a prediction, I'll be wrong and nothing will happen. But we got Davos. We got security more than Davos in San Francisco. And they've got roads closed down. They've probably got $2 million in iron barriers, like fence everywhere. Who pays for that fence? I bet you each piece of fence costs $1,000. Where did they get the fence from? I bet you the city had to build the fence. What a great ironworks project. If you're a local weld shop, you're like, what's this proposal? You want 30,000 squares of a I don't know, they call this square metal. Square. That's what it is. It's square tubing with 45-degree cuts, welded, then a mesh on it and some hooks and some eyelets where the hooks go in. Yeah, somebody bid that job and built it. Like what a moneymaker that would be. Benjamin Netanyahu made some threats to America. Let me read his threats. This is very telling. America is next if Israel loses the war, Netanyahu. Well, since Israel attacked itself, I think we should take him seriously. Yeah. Hasley English. I'm talking to Ashley English today. I did a tweet with my beers.wine domain name to three venture capital people, Mark Andressen's company, A16Z, Sequoia Capital, who funded people like Google and Intel and Sun Microsystems, and Y Combinator. And so far, about nearly 200 people have seen the tweet. So that's exciting. There's also an Indian guy who went to MIT who says he's the only anti-Zionist presidential candidate. And I tweeted to him last night. I'm like, no, you're not. I am. I've been doing this for 8 years. You're new on the scene, buddy. Did you leave me, Charles? Okay. Let's go to SF Gate and see if there's any news this morning. I'm intrigued. Disneyland adds new rules to crack down on controversial guest activity, such as pooping in line. There was a story last week that people are taking a poop while waiting in line. Wow. San Francisco hotel hosting Biden nominated for rare bragging rights. Ooh. So now they're telling us where Biden is staying. Pin trading. The company sells collectible pins in nearly every store, and many are limited edition. Enthusiasts are allowed to swap with each other to get coveted pins. No money is allowed to be paid for exchange. And Disneyland rules permit a maximum of 2 pin trades per guest per day. What? That's stupid. The drama has for some time centered around benches in Frontierland. A regular group of guests had been setting up a large pin trading operation, taking up the entire space. Okay, that's just bullshit. San Francisco's Fairmont Hotel, nominated for USA Today's Best Hotel for the Holidays. The Fairmont, yeah. That's a famous hotel across from the Ritz-Carlton. San Francisco is just... All right, let's cancel this. Oh, good. I miss you, Charles. Charles, I think you and I are going to be business partners someday. We're going to find a way to run a business because you've got so much passion, and of course, you're probably like my biggest fan. How awesome would it be if we became business partners and we got rich together? Pretty awesome is the answer. Oh. 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 Mm. That feels so good. Let me read RT News. I can't believe we live on a planet and we're not friendly to one another. Like on one side of the world is Russia, and on the other side of the world is America. And the world is kind of, those are the two dominant powers in the world, and we don't necessarily get along. It's so weird. Nelson Mandela's great grandson says Palestinians should be armed to protect themselves. Of course they should. The the European Union state preparing to shut border with Russia. How the Israel Hamas war poisons U.S. politics. Apple to relax App Store rules in European Union. Oh, interesting. China not supplying Russia with weapons to fight Ukraine. White House. Which means China is supplying. Ooh, Russia and India signed deal on Igla S missile, which is a man-pad surface to air missile. Like the American Stinger, they can shoot jets out of the air. I'm surprised somebody hasn't made an open source version of a man-pad yet. Photos of White House cocaine released to media. I saw that. You know, Charles, if we were close, make the beer, we could have a beer channel where we make beer. You said you had a beer license. We could make beer and give it away to people in Pennsylvania only. We could have a contest, and then we drive to their house and hand them the beer on camera and then drink it with them. You know, that would be internet gold. Beer in a barbecue contest. Enter this contest to win beer and a barbecue. If you're selected, we will come to your home and we will have an afternoon barbecue of steaks, hot dogs, and hamburger, and the beer that we crafted for up to 20 of your friends. Then we film it. We live stream the beer barbecue. Then we get their opinions on the beer, and we say that we're trying to bring our beer to market, and they'll be like, "Oh, this is really good beer, but your other beer is terrible." And we'll get strong opinions, and then the more we do this, people might say, "I'll fund your beer startup," and then we could, eventually get a brewery, a micro pub. Ooh, production of luxury Russian cars begins in the United Arab Emirates. Wow. It looks like a copy of a Rolls Royce. Israel wants Tony Blair as humanitarian coordinator in Gaza. Tony Blair, what a complete sellout that guy is. Man, RT News has really got their act together. All right, I'm going to go to Google Finance. I really like these Google Finance news stories. This is not going to be a long episode today. We'll be concluding in about 5 or 10 minutes, maybe, unless we get on a entrepreneurial riff. Riffin. Inflation. Consumer prices were unchanged in October. Core inflation rises at slowest pace. Okay. I'm not sure I believe that. United flight from Los Angeles to Vancouver makes emergency landing over alleged bomb threat report. Oh, shit. At least 22 toddlers made sick from fruit pouches with lead concerns, FDA and CDC say. Oh, no. DeLorean designer has some thoughts on the Tesla Cybertruck. NPR? Oh, I got to read that one. And the last, the two more headlines here. Why thousands of United Auto workers are voting no on Big Three's life-changing contract. What? 28 arrested in Oregon retail theft sting operation at shopping malls. 5,000 in stolen merchandise recovered. Yes, 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 yes. Home Depot shares rally on earnings beat, even home improvement sales level off. Many of Americans take notice in the rise of tripflation across industries. Rest in peace, Goldman Sachs. Oh, the Jews never die. That is the Jews never die. All right, and the designer of the DeLorean has some advice. I want to hear this story. NPR. And what does NPR say? There is one person who can truly relate to the onslaught of criticism Tesla has faced surrounding its yet-to-be-released Cybertruck and its 85-year-old Italian man. That octogenarian is Geo Thermal, the legendary car designer behind the Lotus Esprit, BMW M1, and most notably the DeLorean DMC-12. Wow, I didn't know he made all those. The iconic sports car immortalized in Back to the Future series faced a series of critiques in 81 and that are remarkably similar to those being leveled at the Cybertruck, particularly about its angular design and smudge-prone body. Tesla need not panic, Guy Gioro told NPR over email. When you step outside the norms, it almost always seems to be provocative. It happens in all fields, from furniture to cooking, etc. Everyone wants to distinguish themselves. It's marketing. It's a market necessity. And the Cybertruck will surely be successful. I'm sure of it. I'm convinced of it. We'll find admirers. Yeah, that's a nice story. Okay. Charles is here. Now we enter the entrepreneurial discussion part of my broadcast. We can go for about 10 minutes or longer or shorter. Well, Charles, do you have any interest in running a software company with me? And what I mean by that beer idea, the beer food delivery or the beer and wine delivery is a software company. And I'm taking the software will eat the world philosophy from Mark Andreessen, who is A16Z.com. And his company funds software companies. He funded Uber, which is a taxi company. It doesn't own taxis. So they say that software will reinvent the world. And software has one of the biggest profit margins because it's just software. So with our beers.wine software company, we make a marketplace where beer providers, consumers buy beer, put it in their garage, and then they deliver it to people who want beer. That's all we do. We make a small amount of money on the transaction. That's literally it. We provide a marketplace for people to find beer and wine 24 hours a day in their local community. Yeah, so Charles, maybe we should start building this. Yeah, that's what we do. Is we're just an app. You say I got 3 cases of Heineken, and I'm not even sure if this is going to work. And I paid $15 per case, and I'll sell it for $35 delivered, not more than 3 miles from where I live. And that's all you got to do. And if somebody buys it, then you go deliver it. You put the time of day you're willing to deliver things, and that's it. And yeah, maybe we try to use Bitcoin for settlement. So it's an easy way to do transactions through settlement. And they sell their beer for $35, and they paid $15, and there's $20 of profit in there. Well, we take our small percentage, which is maybe 10%, and then the rest of the money we just boom right over to them on Bitcoin, minus the Bitcoin transaction fee, and we're done. Timestamp, you've been paid, baby. And I guess there'd be the problem with chargebacks. There's lots of little things to figure out. What if somebody lied and they never had the beer and it was just a way to scam us for $30? We'd have to figure out all those little things, but eventually we get there. Maybe we don't Bitcoin it. Maybe maybe it's just normal banking transactions, or we mail them a paper check, which doesn't sound efficient because you have to have a human cut the check and verify the check was correct, and accounting has to approve checks, and then that's just too much work. So the more we use software to make everything streamlined and efficient, the better. Like Charles, you and I could run this whole business. Then Charles, once we get our business, what has my friend Chick said? He calls it a going Jesse. A going Jesse is a metaphor for a car that runs really well. Once it's a going Jesse, we can take the beer and wine delivery and we can apply it to other businesses like cigarettes. Maybe you just need some fucking cigarettes at midnight. We can apply it to 7-Eleven. Like the 7-Eleven, the local 7-Eleven could run a complete delivery business model on top of their business model. Why would I do that, Wayne? Well, you sell cigarettes for $20 in the store, and we'll deliver them to people who don't want to drive to you for $30. So you're going to make an extra $15 on top. Normally you sell them for $10. Through our service, $25 plus delivery. The point is we charge to the moon for these delivery, and there are people who are willing to pay for it. How about how about we just start a DiGiorno pizza delivery service? We cook DiGiorno pizzas and we deliver them. That's all we do. We also bring beer. We have draft beer. We deliver draft beer with the DiGiorno pizza. My frozen food idea, I still love this idea. I think Charles, you mentioned a driving pizza truck cooking DiGiorno pizzas like the ice cream truck. It's the ice cream truck for DiGiorno pizza. Imagine your app goes off, bing, 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 bing. The pizza truck is in your area, and you can have a hot pizza in 15 minutes. You know, I think if somebody's a little bit hungry and you throw a hot pizza in their face, that'd be like, I wasn't planning on it, and let's do it. How about the ice cream truck? How about instead of just scoops of ice cream? Ooh, that would be popular, right? Scoops of ice cream. It's the ice cream frozen yogurt ice cream truck driving around neighborhoods selling ice cream. Damn. And do it like In-N-Out Burger. White outfit, super clean truck. Everything's mega clean. Real like 1950s, 1940s, super professional, clean service. Here you go, ma'am. Hello, children. Like super professional attitude. Cash only. No, we got to do credit cards, QR codes, pay through the app, Bitcoin. We got to find what we just got to have lots of baskets for collecting money. Yeah, the ice cream truck. And in the wintertime, the hot cocoa truck. How about that? A truck driving around snowy neighborhoods selling hot cocoa. Hot coffee, hot tea, and hot cocoa. The hot cocoa truck. I just thought of that. All these delivery ideas probably wouldn't work in the normal world because of the high cost of fuel. Well, no, they do work, but an electric truck really changes. It's a game changer. I made some top ramen yesterday with one big whole yellow onion, some green onions chopped up, and then 2 eggs. And it was the beef flavor. It was really good. I ate half yesterday. I'm going to eat the other half today for breakfast. And at 10 o'clock, 10 or 11 my time is when I go on the kill stream. So that's an hour from now. Okay, Charles, that's it for this broadcast. You were the only guest. Thank you for being here, Charles. And have a good day, and I'll see you tonight. Bye-bye.